everybody. I'm going to start with the theme music. Bum ba dum bum, bum ba da, and copyright strike. Bum ba dum bum. I can't sing this song. Bum ba dum bum. Take a guess what I saw. It was a movie, the fifth one. Why are there 5 of these movies? I saw Indiana Jones 5. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which is kind of a clunker of a title, honestly. Was it a clunker of a movie? In the fact that this is starring Harrison Ford, who has become an old jalopy of an actor, unfortunately, because we are all aging. Time passes in a linear fashion. I'm a skeleton joke here, so on and so forth. So, Indiana Jones is a franchise born from making a tribute to the old cliffhanger serials of the original creators, Lucas and Spielberg. Their childhood memories of things that would air in front of movies. Little movies that would only last a few minutes and always end on a cliffhanger. Frequently with the lead hero hanging from a literal cliff. That's where the term comes from. You're learning. I'm teaching you things. You're welcome. I love you. I know. Harrison Ford jokes. So, Lucas and Spielberg made a franchise called Indiana Jones. They made the first one pretty good. It's unfortunately at this point a little bit creaky and a bit simple because, hey, it was the first one. But established a lot of things. Harrison Ford shows that, hey, he can do... Well, Harrison Ford is a fun actor, but he has certain roles he's best in. He has range, but he's best in certain roles. Smarmy, jackass, action hero man, good thing to use him in. So he got to do his thing. You got Marion, you got Traps, you got Belloc, you got Fala, and all the classic characters that are only in a couple of these movies. And that made a lot of money. And then Spielberg went through a divorce. Or no, was Spielberg went through the divorce? It may have been Lucas, I forget which. One of them was in a divorce. And they made Temple of Doom, which is dark as hell and has aged poorly in terms of political correctness, we'll say, because there's some depictions of certain cultures that don't look great these days. So, pull the collar of your shirt here if you have a shirt. I'm naked. I'm a cat. That's my bag. Ball bag joke. Nudity. Jokes. So, Temple of Doom, a little bit of an iffy movie nowadays. That said, it's still my favorite because it has the best action bits in the entire franchise. Still, Indiana Jones as a franchise is two things. You got Harrison Ford being Harrison Ford and doing his thing, and you have real practical action set pieces where people are jumping off of cars and in legit danger of being killed during the stunts, and they're impressive. They're really good. Or, if they're not real, they're impressively pulled off with miniatures and little puppets in a minecart and other gags and ways to do things. And sometimes they're just on a bridge and they cut the bridge and everyone holds the hell on. As you do. And in the third one, it's just kind of the first movie again, but we've thrown Sean Connery in here to be a smarmy asshole to his kid. It's pretty funny. It's kind of a reach right after that, though. So it's kind of, it's alright. It's fine. It's okay. It's decent. It's got the big good bit with the tank. Then, big time gap. Everyone gets old. And we made Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which, still a cool title. Not a good movie. Cool title. And that one is dealing with Harrison Ford being old. And Shia LaBeouf, actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf, is his kid with a stupid name in a movie that's okay and then gets not increasingly worse as it goes forward. And at the end is just like, What? Okay, good thing we're not making any more of these, because we're done. He says, with foreknowledge of the future, to the year of our Lord 2023, and we have crapped out Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. And hey, it's a time travel plot, kinda. That's where we're guffing, anyways. And it's very much a look back at what if we could change shit? What if we could do things differently, and people regretting their choices over life, such as Harrison Ford for signing on for another movie, and kinda, I don't know if this is this movie is not bad, it's not good either, it's just kinda in the middle. It's as mid as you possibly could get for this franchise. And this is coming from someone who cares more for Temple of Doom than the rest of the films, so your mileage will vary. It's much less silly than Crystal Skull, at least with the ending. But majority of this movie is car chases, because Harrison Ford is fucking old, and it very clearly is brittle, and they don't want to break him in half because he's an old skeleton man. Very grumpy, angry skeleton man. First 15-20 minutes of this movie is basically where all the action, classic Indiana Jones action is, because they've got a stuntman with this CGI, deep fake, hibbity-bibbity-bobbity-boobity-boo, creepy fake face of young Harrison Ford planted on the actor as he's booing around doing the Harrison Ford action Indiana Jones thing. Now, that part feels technically unnecessary in the end of the day with the movie's plot, but it feels the most classic. It feels like we've been a pretty good movie to build. Probably about let's say 92, 96-ish. Not at this point. This point it's kind of there. It doesn't serve much of the plot, but it's where all your classic action of these first franchises is, because they have a fake Indiana Jones face on a young actor, stuntman man. And then the rest of the movie where Harrison Ford is, of course, old as balls. Even older than the last movie where he was also too damn old. And this movie is just... I was expecting this to be more depressing than it is. It is kind of depressing where they take the character. Like, say what you will about how they ended the last movie, that was at least a happy ending, sunsetting. This one, because it's another sequel, we had to have a plot, drags him back down, actually goes back down to the toilet of a character arc plot by making things sad. It's kind of depressing, makes kind of weird mess, it causes weird messaging and weird thematic problems, I'd say, as this goes on, because Indy mostly, at the end of the day, gets people killed over antiquities, and doesn't have much thing to show for it. His life sucks. Oh yeah, spoiler time, by the way. His wife left him, which depressing. Son's dead, depressing. Slightly funny because no one wants to deal with Shia LaBeouf anymore, and they essentially poochied him out of the film. It's in a way that makes sense, and the movie does deal with it. He does say and go, I have to go back to my planet. Whoop. They do kill him off camera, but it's in a way that makes sense and works for the plot. It's just, this is a depressing note to start your plot with. Then we introduce Indy's goddaughter, and the name of the character and the actress I have forgotten already, because I am my brain is a lockbox for memory things like that. Or I have fingers. That's what these things at the end of my hands are. So, goddaughter girl is essentially reverse, like, bad Indy, because she's doing Indiana Jones' things, but she's taking these antiquities and ancient things and not putting them in a museum. She's selling them and putting them in her pocketbook, because money! Yes. Hey, she works at the British Museum. Ba-da-da-ching! Snare drum sound. And Indy's like, these belong in a museum. But she says like 3 or 4 times. It's like when it turned into a bad running joke, honestly. And she's like, nah, nope, I'm selling that crap. So there's our plot, is she's trying to get the Dial of Destiny, and he's trying to stop her / keep her from being killed because, hey, Mads Mikkelsen is here, and he's a Nazi. And he's pretty fun. He's being Mad Mikkelsen. You hire Mad Mikkelsen to be your bad guy in your movie. He does his job. He gets his paycheck. He's fun. I like Mad Mikkelsen. He's cool. He does a decent job here. Antonio Banderas shows up briefly. I am now at this point. I am stuck with just imagining him as Puss in Boots forever. So you're welcome. Actually, that would have been a big improvement for this one if they had just had Antonio Banderas, not the actor he would just have Puss in Boots playing that character. So like a CGI cat with boots doing the same role, same thing in the plot, just it's a CGI cat for that part of the movie. I think that would have been a good idea. I have great ideas. Where am I again? Oh right, I'm in Mummy's tomb. The Mummy, the best Indiana Jones movie. Suck it. So, plot happens, and unfortunately, this movie basically, its writer said, well, Harrison Ford is too damn old to do anything without breaking into a bag of skeleton bones. What can we do with him? He's the driver. He drives. He drives. At some point between films, Indiana Jones became a world-class stunt driver, which is convenient because it does not require Harrison Ford to actually run or punch or fight much or do anything that's more taxing than sitting in front of a camera in a fake car while CGI blue screen rear projections footage moves behind and in front of him and stuff, and it's fine. Honestly, the biggest problem with this thing is it's long. This is a 2.5 hour movie. This has no reason to be that friggin' long. It's only about barely 90 minutes barely an hour worth of plot here, honestly, to be truthful. You could have whittled this thing down to a nice, tidy 90 minutes, and it would have been much better. It would have been a much cleaner and tighter thing. I like clean and tight, like my butthole. It ain't tight. So, the rest of this thing, it cruises along. It never gets past about here on our interest scale. Things happen. They make sense for the most part. They're satisfying in terms of this is a film with a budget and actors doing their job, getting their check and such. Within the strength of your lead is too damn old for what this movie is asking. And then we get to our ending where someone remembered, oh right, let's get silly. Let's get weird. Let's get interesting. And hey, the last 15 minutes of this thing, kind of funny. Because you've got, again, spoilers, you've got Nazis opening fire from an airplane upon Roman battleships because they've gone back in time. That's right, folks, we have time travel in the end of this movie, which people always want to complain about Crystal Skull for bringing in aliens, but think about this franchise. First movie, confirmation that old Christian God is real and will fuck you up. Second movie, voodoo is real. It will fuck you up. Third movie, old Christian God is real again. Yeah, didn't we do this already? Yep. Fourth movie, aliens are real. This one, math-based time travel. Cool. Within your realm of silliness, this is fine. Honestly, if you want to be bitchy about it, this is more in line with the rest of the franchise than the aliens, but whatever. But fine, whatever. You got a plane of Nazis opening fire on Roman centurions, and spears are being fired into the plane, and exploding fireballs going everywhere, and Archimedes is running around, and this is so damn silly, and hey, I'm actually having fun for the last few minutes of this movie. I'm engaged. Nice. And they do a thing to where it's not often that you will deny your elderly lead heroes walk into the sunset because he's an idiot. This movie does that, and I appreciate it for that. This movie ends with Indiana Jones I want to stay here in the past because I'm old and I'm wounded. My life sucks. I want to stay here in the past and look at this cool shit and die here. Despite the fact that me staying here is going to royally fuck the timeline. We've already caused at least 2 causality loops while we've been here. And his God Gutter goes, punch. And they drag his unconscious ass back to the plane, and they go back to the present. 60s. Whatever. Present of the film. And I'm like, Normally, this kind of movie, with one that wants to sunset a character, would just let him sacrifice himself, or in this case, stay behind and die because his life sucks and he wants to enjoy this situation he's been put in. Even though in this situation it's a severely bad idea because time travel. I kind of want to see the other cut of this where like Harrison Ford accidentally makes everyone have hats and whips as daily fashion when someone goes back to the future. That'd be funny. Where they all have Harrison Ford's face grafted upon their bodies with bad CGI, deep faking, something like that. But yeah, they drag him back to the present and force a more sensible happy ending upon him, and honestly, kind of refreshing. They drag his ass home, and his daughter just calls Sala. She calls Marion. They talk. They basically appear to reconcile and kiss, and we have a happy ending, or at least as happy as we're going to get with the setup. So, yeah, this is it's in a slightly better spot than it got left at, even though, honestly, they should have just not made this movie. It's not bad, but it has no reason to be here beyond Harrison Ford wanted another check, and Disney wanted to produce another one of these movies while he was still alive. I kind of think they should have just, recast and kept these as a vintage era relic, as something you come back to, new actors, young actors, basically what they tried to do with Solo and fucked it up with. Hell, bring back that actor and let him try again. That'd be funny. But yeah, it's just kind of there. I can't hate it. It's not bad. It's not particularly of note. It's just kind of in the middle. It is mid. Which is about a pretty bad thing to be at the end of the day, especially at this point. If your movie is mid, people forget it exists. It gets buried by the sands of time. At least if it's bad, it can be memorable. If it's mid, what are we doing? Why did I waste my time? Alright, I had family wanted to go see this. That's why I bothered. I'd already watched reviews that spoiled the whole damn movie for me, which honestly kind of helped here because I already was prepared for the kind of depressing start. Although I saw Harrison Ford just is in the movie. It starts the movie where we see the actual Harrison Ford. He's just shirtless and old and depressing. And I'm like, oh, he looks like my dad. I don't like that. On that depressing note, I'm gonna go explore this mummy's tomb, which is actually a theme park ride, I think, because I can see the cars there. See what happens with this. Now the ride left without me. Well, my ride left me. Shit. Next time. Bye-bye. Get my money back? No, I cannot. I snuck in. Damn.